Era.
Well. It's Opinion Day, everybody. Welcome to the show. I have with me a special guest. We actually have been acquaintances for a little bit now because we do this thing called Twitter Spaces, and it's like a conference call for all the wrestling fans to voice their opinion. But welcome, Sophia, to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So for those of you that don't know, right, would you mind kind of going over what your podcast is about?
Okay, so I actually have a podcast. It's called Vocal Minds with Sophia, and it's like to bridge the unknown. So it's not wrestling related.
Hmm.
And I interview people from all walks of life. So, like a journalist who got kidnapped by the Taliban and then ended up converting to Islam. Very remarkable story. A tech
Wow.
billionaire who had an alien encounter and now has left the tech industry to research aliens, spirit mediums, Carol Baskin.
Did you really interview Carol Baskin?
Yeah, I interviewed Carol Baskin a few weeks ago. She's really nice. There's a lot of misconceptions about her, but she's a really nice woman. I didn't have any people always ask me like, what is she like? And I'm like, she's nice.
Well, that's good. I mean, she does seem nice from that documentary, but I mean, looks can be deceiving, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, other than that, like, what made you? I know that you said that you do beyond wrestling, but when you
Mhm.
do wrestling, like, what made you become a wrestling fan, or like when?
So I've been watching wrestling for a long time.
Hmm.
And then I was doing Twitch anyway. So I've been a Twitch streamer. And I grew a Discord server with like 1,000 people on there. And then they would be like WrestleMania or like the big pay-per-views. And everyone would be like, oh, let's watch WrestleMania. And that's how it started. Like I started watching wrestling in a community, like And then after I was like, well, I can do this on Twitch. I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I didn't know sidecasting was a thing. And then I was like, okay, so I like wrestling. I'm gonna start talking about it on Twitch. Everyone has watched it at least once in their life. Even if they don't watch it now, they've watched it at least. And generally, my audience is like above 25. So they've grew up in the 90s, and so they're familiar with like the Attitude Era. Like everyone in my audience has watched wrestling, even if they don't watch it now, they watched it in the Attitude Era. So then I started talking about wrestling, and I would watch a lot of the old matches, like The Undertaker, Kane, The Rock, who I'm not really a fan of, but a lot of people like him. And then just like the niche wrestlers, going back to like the Bushwhackers. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they were a tag team. Just like, and then I just started watching it. And then like slowly people would come in and be like, oh my God, I remember that. And then it kind of grew. And then also because I think because I'm a female, and there's not really any females out there that talk about pro wrestling the way I do on Twitch. You know what I mean? And it was unusual for people because a lot of people would come in and be like, oh, why'd you watch wrestling? That's fake, or that's like, are you 8 years old?
I hate people that say shit like that.
Yeah.
Because like everybody that says it's fake, it's like you realize like 90% of what you guys watch is fake too, right? It's like
absolutely
all the movies and shit. What's your dislike for The Rock?
I think he's great on the mic, but I don't like mainstream. Like I don't like anything too mainstream. So I feel like he's just such a international superstar that it's not for me. I always like the underdogs. You know what I mean?
So are you a Stone Cold person then?
I do like Stone Cold, but I was more of like the Undertaker fan, or like Mick Foley, right? I like Stone Cold. I think he's incredible as a wrestler on the mic. To me, he's the greatest of all time. However, I was more drawn to the Undertaker, maybe because I was like a goth when I was a teenager, so it kind of fit in the, like the emo girl.
Yeah, you're an emo kid.
Yeah. So I like the dark image. I love Paul Bearer. He's like, to me, like one of the greatest things ever to do with wrestling. Like I'm obsessed. I love his passion, even though he's no longer, but like his passion is unmatched, unmatched. Like he gave it everything, and it's just remarkable to watch.
Yeah, I've seen you model in his t-shirt before.
Yeah, so I have Paul Bearer merch. I'm probably one of the few people that literally went out of my way to hunt down Paul Bearer merch on the internet, and it wasn't easy because he's not like a mainstream person that you can just go and find his merch. So I just ended up finding like some random website that created a t-shirt for him. So I was like, yes, I'm getting that. But I love him. I really wanted to interview his son, but I can't find him. So if anyone knows his son,
Yeah, hit her up.
Yeah.
So would you say you're more of a WWE person than 100%. Anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever watched AEW?
I have watched AEW. I don't like their weekly shows. I don't know what it is. Also, plus, I don't like bleeding, right? I think it's gross, personally. I don't like blood. I'm not somebody who like looks at blood and will be like, yeah, that's so like rock and roll. Like I feel sick. And so when I see a lot of blood, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch that. It makes me feel uncomfortable and I get nausea. And so with AEW, there's a lot of blood. And I don't know, it's just not for me. Like I recognize, so initially I was like, fuck AEW. Can I swear here?
Yeah.
I don't like AEW. I didn't like the product. Over time, it has evolved. I remember like 2 years ago when they first started, it was completely different to what it is now. Now they have like, international stars from other brands who have come there.
Right.
Initially, I wasn't fond of the product. I wasn't. I like Chris Jericho, but not enough for me to be sold because he was the initial draw, right? Um, and Cody Rhodes I've never been a fan of, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna start watching this product because Jericho and Cody Rhodes. And then over time, they signed a few other people. I like Thunder Rosa. I think she's incredible as a woman in wrestling. She's a pioneer, and not
Hmm.
only as a female, just as a wrestler, she's just so badass. Brian Danielson, which is really weird because I did not like him at WWE at all. I thought it was really corny, and
Really?
and then when he went to AEW, it's like a completely different person. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just like now he's like aggressive and he wants to blade and do all this like weird shit. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see like how he has evolved as a wrestler, and he's you can see like he's happy there, right? He's not in it for the money because they're surely not paying him enough money to do that to his body, but he enjoys it.
I think they're
And
paying him
Kenny,
enough.
I love Kenny. I think he's incredible. Like the athleticism, like he's somebody like who combines wrestling with like Cirque du Soleil. So like the
Hmm.
athleticism, like he can do acrobatic stuff like Ricochet, right? That is insane. And you just say, wow, that is actually like impressive. And I think initially he was probably the first person I was like, okay, this is worth watching because of him. And now he's no longer there. So, well, he's taking a break, right?
So we got a question from Toe, who is basically my boss. He's saying,
Your
"Who's
boss.
better, Hogan or Cena?"
In what context? As a wrestler or like just like showmanship?
You know what? Why not both?
I think John Cena is a better wrestler.
Oh, okay.
But I think Hulk Hogan is a star, natural born star,
I
and
just
that's why he was the face of America. I know John Cena, like he was famous, yeah, but I feel like Hogan, maybe because it was a different time and media was very limited. So if you had one person, they would be like that one person that was famous. I feel like Hulk Hogan was much more internationally known than John Cena was.
I don't know about that because if you ask somebody, if you mention WWE, the first thing that somebody says is John Cena. Oh, John Cena was in that, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
but from America, right? For internationally, from other like in rural parts of Africa, they don't know who Hulk Hogan is. He's
oh,
he's like, do you know what I mean? But they won't know who John Cena is. Except for South Africa, there's a song called John Cena, and it was the song for the World Cup a few years ago. Have you heard it?
no, I haven't not heard
You
that.
should. It's really cool. It's called John Cena by Shoma Josie. It's in Swahili. Um,
Okay.
and John Cena actually does a dance to it. It's really cool.
It's weird because I've watched all the World Cups since like 2009, and I've never noticed that. Yeah, so Amy says Hulk is more well known here in
In
South Africa.
SA. What's
Yeah.
up, Amy? If you're from Africa, so am I. So what's up?
But yeah, so I understand. Anyways, what were we saying before the whole Hulk Hogan thing?
AW.
Um, yeah, so yeah, AEW. You say you didn't like Blood, right?
Mm-mm.
So would it be safe to say you never watched any ECW stuff?
No, I haven't. But
Never.
I mean, I've watched some like recommended things like Sabu and Terry Funk and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just not for me. Like I can admire his like guts Sabu, he's very like I used to, which you know what's really weird is that when I was a teenager, I really loved Jackass. Like I really did. I was like super fan of Jackass,
Yeah,
right?
me too. Yeah.
And they do all these weird things to their body, and I never felt like, oh my god, I can't watch this. I thought Steve-O was like the coolest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But with wrestlers, I just feel like, no, I can't. I can't watch this if it's too much blood.
So WWE is more like a safe product for you to watch when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you would have been able to handle like Eddie Guerrero at what was it, Judgment Day, when he got smacked in the head by the chair with like JBL and started gushing.
Yuck.
Like that kind of stuff.
No.
So I just man, I wanted to ask you a question. It was like so AEW and all that stuff, do you keep up with anything news wise?
I watch the highlights because on Fridays I have a wrestling show on Twitch. And then I'll watch the recap of the entire week of AEW. So I watch most of WWE weekly programming. Just the end of Raw, I don't, just because of the time. It's on like till 4 a.m. and it just doesn't make sense on a Monday. So I watch the highlights. So what AEW do, they have like 5 matches on their YouTube channel, like the top matches of like Wednesday night. And so when I'm on stream, I'll watch them. I love MJF. I think he's so cool.
Yeah, he's a good heel.
And what's that guy called? He's not new, but he's getting really popular. They call him like the Brock Lesnar of AEW. He's got
Wardlow.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've been watching a few of his matches because a lot of my community love him. That's their favorite wrestler, so they always say like watch his match.
Do you see a lot of, sorry to cut you off there.
No,
but do you see like the what I was trying to make? Do you see a lot of like negativity or toxic traits in a lot of tweets that you see towards AEW? Like the news recently or whatever has been coming out is that Sammy Guevara won the TNT championship towards against Scorpio Sky. So I kind of just wanted to get your take on that and what you think about his whole relationship with him and Ty. Do you think it's a little too much?
Not really, because in wrestling, like we've always had like couples, right? I mean, fucking hell, sorry again. Carmella and Corey Graves, like making out always on Monday Night Raw. That's one couple. There's another couple, and I can't think of who it is, but I literally said this like 2 weeks ago. Like whoever's writing for WWE, either is really into romance or is like sexually deprived.
Oh my god!
Just keeps on writing these.
Everybody's kissing each other. What the fuck?
I think they're smart because they know that lots of people are watching them, so they're using it like a marketing, and it's working for them, right? I feel bad for the other girl who was, his former fiance, because now it's like, fucking no, it's all in her face. Like she can't even move on with her life, straight. As soon as like they broke up, he was in another relationship. It was like internationally published.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I feel bad for her. Regarding like the negativity, I think wrestling fans between both sides, right? So WWE fans and WWE fans have power to say, well, we're making more money or we have more audience than you, right? So regardless of whatever you're doing, we're still better than you. So basically, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the advantage that and then obviously their accomplishments, you can't compare something that's been going on for like 30 years as opposed to something that's gone on for 2 years. Like they've done so much to revolutionize pro wrestling and the missionary work that they do with the charities that they work with internationally. They like, made history launching pro wrestling in Saudi Arabia, women main eventing in Saudi. Like they've accomplished so much and made history. And AEW can't, because it's already been done before. They need to find things that haven't been done before, right? So that's their thing now. They need to find, and the thing is with pro wrestling, a lot of things that have been done before. If it wasn't WWE, there's always been other companies, maybe not as, but pretty much everything's been done. It's like music, right?
I
It's
know, yeah.
find something that hasn't been done before.
And that's going to be really hard for them later down the line. And, because one thing that you have to do when I feel like when you even have a TV show in general, not just wrestling, is stay relevant.
Yeah.
Like, regardless if The Simpsons haven't been funny in quite some time, they're still on air and it's been 30
Yeah.
years, And I like your point that, you can't compare something that's been around forever as opposed to like 3 years old. Like ESPN's been around since the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And we got Fox Sports here, who has been around since the 90s. People are
Mm,
going to gravitate more ESPN because they're an older company, so they're more
yeah.
reliable. But you still got people that watch Fox Sports, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Look at that. We got Chris here from the Dumb Marks podcast.
What's
He says
up?
he says totally agree that AEW needs to find something that hasn't been done before.
I
Now,
think so. I heard that, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that New Japan are doing an event with AEW, like a
mhm,
New Japan meets AEW event in Chicago. Are you from Chicago?
yeah. Mhm.
So have you heard that?
Yeah, we have, yeah, everybody's yeah, that was big news. I don't know if that's like the huge announcement that Tony Khan's going to say
Yeah.
tomorrow, but yeah, that's pretty much the rumor going around right now, which I'm really really excited about.
Yeah, because I heard that Brian Danielson's match is already. I'm not familiar with New Japan wrestlers. I just know Okada, literally,
Yeah.
because of Kenny Omega. But there's a guy. His name begins with T. I don't know his name, but I remember someone in my like community earlier saying like Brian Danielson's got a match with this guy, and his name is begin with T, and I think he's like the second best. Like Okada's the
Tanahashi.
best. Yeah, him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you ever need help, uh, you know, anybody in my comments section can help you out, and then including me. But
Do
yeah,
you
that should
watch
be
a
a.
lot of New Japan?
Hmm.
Do you watch a lot of New Japan wrestling?
I don't a lot, but I know enough, if that makes sense. Like I
Okay.
know enough to know their names and what they do and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Will you go
Victor.
to the event if it happens?
New Japan, if they bring Okada, that would be awesome. I agree. I will definitely try to get my ticket. There ain't no way I'm not going to go to that thing. And especially depending on where it's going to be at, it's going to be insane. Like if they have it at the United Center, which is like one of the biggest stadiums that we have in Chicago, definitely going to that. So,
That should be really cool. CM Punk's hometown as well, right?
yeah, and that's where he debuted. That's where he
Yeah.
debuted. I went to go see that. So, I unfortunately didn't get to go see the other New Japan show that happened in Chicago not too long ago, but um, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, so are you one of those people that say that like, because we get a lot of people that come on to those spaces sometimes that say, well, all they hire is ex WWE guys. Do you
No,
think they do
not
that?
really, because they've brought people from other promotions, right? So, like, it's clear to see that there's people like Jay Lethal, right? He came from Ring of
Mm,
Honor. They've before they purchased Ring of Honor, they were bringing people from Japan who have nothing to do with WWE. Um, Ring of
right.
Honor, and then some indies, like only a few, but some indie people make it, right?
Right. I mean, yeah, they get their chance, but a lot of people say that the it's too oversaturated, which I don't know if you heard the news, but you know who Jack Evans is?
No. Who is
No,
that?
he's like one of the AEW originals.
Okay.
He's letting his contract expire,
Okay.
so that'll be another spot to fill for somebody
Right.
else to come in. But I think you're totally right about that. How did you feel when Cody jumped over?
I wish it was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, yeah,
So obviously because of the amount of rumors, like it wasn't like a surprise because there was so much speculation that he had signed. I know that people used to come into my chat, and like people who associated to blogs and stuff, they would be like, it's confirmed, like he's signed, basically. So it was like I was still like, oh, I hope that Bray comes out because I prefer him as opposed to Cody. Um, I can understand why he went back, and I just think that like Vince McMahon has some psychological draw on people, and it's almost like a father figure that you really want to impress, right? So no matter what anyone offers you, all you want is to be seen by that man because he is the god of pro wrestling, right? And so you don't care because you just want him to notice you. Like that is your life goal for Vince McMahon to acknowledge you. And it makes so much sense to why he went back because that's what he wanted. He wanted to be one of them because it's like, that I wouldn't say like you haven't made it until you've made it in WWE,
yeah.
but it's like being a rock star. And if you haven't done your show at like Madison Square Garden, like where Beyonce and all these massive artists, have you really made it? So I
That is a
think,
good point because it's like some of these people that show up at AEW, you would have never heard of them if they didn't get their start out from WWE. Like you
mhm,
wouldn't be excited to see a Keith Lee pop up out of nowhere unless he just came from WWE. So
yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
What I really
Uh,
don't understand on both sides, like everyone, if you watch the audience at live shows, they're going crazy for Cody. Like literally, all you can
yeah,
hear is Cody chants. And it's like last month you fucking hated him. And now you're like, oh my god, I love Cody. I just don't understand that. And then with the WWE talent that go to AEW, and it's like, oh my god, he's so amazing. Like I love him. And it's like, dude,
yeah.
you were like he sucks like last month. Do you know what I mean? There was some weird thing going on there.
I think what the problem is that everybody is really fickle. Like
Mm,
they're okay with something at the time, and then once they grow tired of it, they hate them. They get tired of the shtick. The same thing that's happening with CM Punk, or it was happening with CM Punk, where it was great when he came back and he had all this hype around him and all that cool stuff, and then all of a sudden people are like, all he does is come out, well, he just makes random stories with people, and it's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. He's just doing his job. Like I
mm,
don't know. I listen, like when it comes to that, I had 7 to 8 years without the guy. I'm okay with him doing whatever he wants at the moment. But
mm.
I don't know. Do you think if somebody like Roman Reigns jumped ship, would it do you think he would thrive or get lost?
I
I
could
don't know
never
why
see.
you're laughing really hard at that.
No, because that's like Roman Reigns, dude. He would never get, first of all, anything that he gets at WWE. They would never be able to give him that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just no. I don't know. Like, it seems insane to think that Roman would want to go to AEW. But then it also seems insane to think Brian Danielson would want to go there too because he was massive. He was a superstar in WWE. So many people loved him, but he wanted to be a hardcore wrestler, right? He didn't care about the fame or the money. Dude, his father-in-law is Laurinaitis. Like his
Mm-hmm.
wife has a multi-million-dollar empire, the Bella twins. So like for him to go to AEW was a shock. So I like when I think of it, like maybe because Bryan Danielson did and he already had everything. Like he was not the face of WWE, but he was one of the most renowned known wrestlers, right? Um,
All right.
do I think he'll be successful? I don't know. And plus, I don't think it would feed his ego because people in AEW would be like, fuck you. You ain't shit here. Like, we don't care if you're a Roman Reigns over there. And I don't know how he'd feel about that, you know?
It's just like weird because, it's one of those things where you just say never because
Yeah.
people thought this was it for Cody. I mean, he even said it himself. He's like, I'm EVP for life, et cetera, et cetera. And now he went back to the place that he, you know, had all
Yeah,
this
I
this
didn't know.
music made for and shit. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Could you see who out of everybody right now on the current roster, who could you see eventually going over?
To like and would excel and
Yeah.
do better,
Yeah.
probably.
Like a Bryan Danielson.
Finn, maybe.
Really? That's not bad. That's
I
not
know a
bad.
lot of people are saying it as well, right? Finn. Who else? I think that they need to work on their female roster, definitely. So maybe I love Bailey, but maybe Bailey go into AEW because she's a badass, so she could like work with Thunder Rosa to kind of spearhead the women into the right direction, right? Because I don't know who's training them, but I think
I don't
QT
know.
Marshall, right? But the thing is, how you train a female to how you train a guy is completely different.
Well, I think Serena Deeb is also behind the scenes of some of those matches too.
Are they? I've not seen one female match that I've been like, wow, that was remarkable. There's like loads of blood. Like people be like, oh my god, what's that? Like see loads of blood. I'm not into that. I want to see like genuine athleticism, and I don't think apart from Thunder Rosa that they have somebody who's well seasoned yet. Maybe they have plans on signing more, but I don't know. I just don't feel like they do.
They do have a really good roster though. It's like Mercedes Martinez, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker's come a long way. They just picked up Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Ruby Soho whenever she decides to get out of dark. I mean, they have women. It's just that I don't know if they don't have enough time. I mean, they have literally 3 hours a week to put these
And we
women on
give women
TV.
3 minutes in those
Yeah.
3 hours. I've seen a protest. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
You know, like one of those petition websites that people make, like for change.
Yeah.
I saw somebody make a petition website for demanding change IAW because they give women 3 minutes a week, and they're like, "This is not fair. Women deserve more, airtime." There was a match last week. I don't remember what it was because I didn't watch it, but I saw the petition, and they were like, "This should have gone for 20 minutes. If it was guys, they would have definitely gone for 20 minutes. They gave them 3 minutes." So I think even the audience is noticing like there's lack in comparison because WWE really push their women, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
all their women, but the women who are pushed to the max.
You're right. Yeah. It's weird because they do a lot more women matches, but it's with the same fucking women every week. Whereas, you get different people coming in on AEW, but they last like 5 minutes. And I don't know what it is, but you got those people that say, on the other hand, that women wrestling doesn't draw as much or, shit like that. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or not. Maybe
I
it's
don't think
just
so.
it's just one of those things. It's like why do like with some of these matches, like why should I give a shit to watch, and that doesn't go for just the female. It goes for males. Like, give me a reason to give a shit,
Yeah.
basically. And I think with a lot of matches with women, you have no reason to give a shit.
I think because also with WWE that they create brands around their women. And so not only is the woman a wrestler, but she does TV and she does this and she does that and she's, you know, doing other things. So they have so many reasons to bring different people from different communities, whether it's TV or like cartoons. I know they do a lot of cartoons.
Right.
To come and watch these women, right? Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, you know, these are like massive draws. They bring in numbers, like insane numbers. And because WWE do a lot of branding around these women, right? They make them go to all kinds of events to be seen. AEW doesn't really do that though. You know, they focus on the wrestling, which is understandable. But if you want to build an international superstar like Bianca or John Cena, they have to go and do other shit. And I heard that, you know, only a few people actually get paid good money at AEW. The rest are literally grinding and having to do like so much different shows every week to earn any money. And then they have a few people who are paid like they're big stars, you know, Adam Cole, Brian Danielson, CM Punk, John Moxley, who else? I don't know. I'm just thinking from the top because I don't know their entire roster, but like the really popular ones, they're paid. And then the other ones, they're not paid at all. They're not making money.
Yeah, no, I got you. I understand, because it's like, uh, but some of those guys, I feel like they have it in their contract that they don't have to work all the time, and they can go out and make some money out somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
Brian Gage, you know,
Yeah.
he's that type of
No.
guy that goes out and does all kinds of indie shows, and then when they need him, like at Supercard, they'll have he'll come back.
But do you think that they should I don't understand. It's like do they maybe they don't have the money, but then you look at this guy's financial status and his family and then you're like, well, it's not an indie brand because he comes from money. It's not like a startup company where somebody's just decided to start something and it's picked up. He has money.
Right.
What is he? He's using it, and you know, I hear like Chris Jericho is paid like some ridiculous amount of money. Is it really worth it? I mean, he's had his time, right? Like Chris Jericho's, he's one of the greatest wrestlers, no doubt, but not now. He was. So paying Chris Jericho annual fees, what is he doing?
Well, it's one of those things, right? And I'll circle back to the people giving a shit. If you're not as popular as a John Cena or a Chris Jericho, because Chris Jericho is a legend, no matter how
Yeah,
much you spin it, right?
yeah,
If you're not as popular as any of those guys, like a Brian Danielson, why should you get paid the same or more or whatever compared to them? Because you're not drawing. You're not as popular. You're not like you gotta find a way to get yourself over with the fans, and then you'll start making money. You know
no,
what
but
I mean?
do you think Chris Jericho should be earning millions of dollars now? Does he bring people in? I don't know. I don't know his popularity. I know that he was super famous back in the days, right? But right now for the current and I think that their fans are quite, you know, they want a specific type of match and Chris Jericho doesn't give that. You know what I mean? He's kind of like a diplomat in the company. I don't understand his purpose.
As of late, I think he's more of a mentor.
Mm,
Match wise, I have no idea what the fuck. Because he is. I mean, he has slimmed down a little bit, but he's a little slower now, and he's just not. He's not the same Jericho that we grew up to see. So
yeah,
I don't know exactly. Uh, I don't know exactly what he's trying to accomplish.
yeah.
Um, but all I know is that, yeah, I think just based off his name alone and his legend status, I think he deserves every penny that he gets.
I don't know.
It's like,
I heard he makes like more
what?
than like what Randy Orton makes at WWE, probably like twice that. I don't know if it's true, but
I
I
mean,
heard
he
he's like over five million a year.
says when it comes to top stars, they draw money because people want to come out just to see them. Like Jericho, they come to a show just to sing his song.
I would go just to see Fuzzy, not for the Jericho the wrestler, but I
That's
would. I
another thing too. Like we got to put that in the factor. He's
yeah
getting money off of his band. Granted, he's only got like one fucking hit, but I mean, the hit's a hit, right? It's got
yeah
one more hit than I do.
yeah.
You know, it's like,
No, that song is epic. I'm not gonna deny it. Like that's my favorite theme at AEW, of course. Like I love that. I love Fuzzy. Like they're sick, and I think it's amazing that he is actually a talented singer, not only a wrestler, but you know, like sometimes people are famous and they'll go, "Oh, I'm going to become a musician because I'm famous," but he's
right.
actually talented. So you can't even knock him for like singing.
No, yeah, he's really good. And if if there was other songs out there that got more popular, like Judas was, uh, I'm pretty sure people would call him the greatest singer of all time. And
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's like one of those things. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Other people are doing other things in the company, like uh, there's another person, Darby Allen. I think he does like stuff. I think he did stuff with Jackass.
yeah.
You
I know
know,
Thunder
and
Rosa has her own promotion, Mission Pro for females,
right.
which
So
is
you
really
know,
cool.
so she's got to do that, and not only that, in Chicago, there's this place called Warrior Wrestling. She's the women's champ there too. So she's
Wow.
got all kinds of responsibilities going around, and she's one of their top stars. You know, she don't have to do that,
Yeah.
but she does it because I think she just loves doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I think money's not everything when it comes. I mean, it's important, but it's not everything when it comes to
No, I
what you
agree
love.
with you. And you can see, like, with some wrestlers, they wouldn't go the corporate way because they don't care. It doesn't feed their like passion to wrestle.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you've been built like Bianca at WWE, then you won't know any different. Do you know what I mean? Like she started there. It's not like she has been grinding hard since she was like 14. It's like indies.
Yeah.
So that's for her, that's all she knows.
Apparently, Thunder Rosa, she'll be vacating that title on the next show, so she won't be champ for long. So, Warrior Wrestling. I didn't know that. But yeah, like it's one of those things. If you're really passionate, if you really love something, then you'll go through like great lengths to do it and try to accomplish more and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And that's what's lacking with a lot of these I think a lot of these AEW guys is that they're wondering why nobody's focusing on them or why they're not getting enough match time, and it's because you're not putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah,
So,
it's
but
true.
how long have we been doing this? It's almost been an hour.
No, we've been on for like 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep talking if you
Yeah.
want, but it's up to you. We can keep talking, but yeah, I just I wanted to make that point. It's just money's not everything, and that's why I don't know why Cody jumped ship.
Because of the
Like,
psychological draw that Vince has over him. Like he wants to impress him. He wants do you know what I'm saying? If imagine like if someone is like, you ain't shit, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna show you that I'm something, it's like that psychological, like your dad never wanted you. And then you're like, "Well, Daddy, I'm gonna
Damn.
go and I'm gonna make something of myself." And I'm gonna come back, and that's what happened, right? And it's feed, and you can see like he's getting that boost, that ego boost that he's always wanted.
But
He
think
finally
about
has it. Do I think he's gonna become the new Roman Reigns?
no.
That's really hard because I think he's convinced that he's gonna become the WWE face. Like that's his. I've heard him on various like news channels, sports ones like BT Sports and stuff, and he's like, I want to be the face of the brand, and it's like he was speaking with conviction, like he knows, like he's coming, and it's very interesting because I don't see how but then I'm seeing how the audience are going crazy. If you watch like yesterday Raw, no names were screamed the way people scream Cody. It's weird. Even people don't even scream Roman the way that they're screaming Cody right now. Maybe it's a phase and it will die out.
It'll
Just because
die
it's
out.
kind of new.
It'll definitely die out just based off of what we've seen. Just based off what we've seen on with CM Punk.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like with Cody, I just feel like he used a lot of people to get to where he's at now. You know what I mean? Like he used the Bullet Club. He used Kenny and the Bucks to make this thing, and he spoke with the same conviction in his promos about AEW being
Yeah.
the best thing ever as the same way he's doing it now with WWE. So it's
Yeah.
like, what do I believe in? And it's
Yeah.
so crazy now. It's been like 3 weeks since WrestleMania, and people are still talking about the fact that he left,
Yeah.
It's like, how much impact do you have on people?
A lot,
A
clearly.
lot, yeah.
Mhm.
But you know what? This has been fun though.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
I would love to have you on again if you want to become a reoccurring
Yeah, let's
guest.
do it.
Yeah, and if I don't know if you want to go ahead and plug yourself real quick before we go.
Okay. Yeah, guys, make sure you follow me on Twitch. You should come on my Twitch. I know it's a bit early for you, but
Yeah,
on a Friday or something, we can do something. On Monday,
definitely.
I do sports. And you should try and, if you want to do Twitch, I keep on telling you. But yeah, guys, find me on twitch.tv/Sophia, Sophia. And Instagram and Twitter is Sophia is Vocal. And also check out my podcast. It's called Vocal Minds with Sophia.
All right,
What's
awesome.
up, everyone? You guys rock. Thank you.
Yep, great episode.
Are you gonna watch NXT? It's starting soon. You don't watch WWE, right? You hate the company.
I don't hate them. No. That's where I dislike them, but I also find I can also see the other side of it. Like I can understand why people like it. Monday Night Raw is not for me, and NXT is not for me, but I could see the entertainment value. And when they put on good matches, they put on good matches. So
Yeah.
bless you. Was that a sneeze?
No, I'm coughing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, I want to get on that Twitch sports shit, but I don't know.
Send you the email.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, send me the email when you can. But that'll be us. That'll be it from us, guys. Have a good night. See y'all later.
Definitely.
Bye-bye.